So, Risk of Rain 2. Okay. So, I
dreamt for
have
so long.
done what I said I would do. I made a new mod pack with less items. With some new things included. Different things that I haven't had. But mostly less items, so that it's mostly void items, right? Mostly exchange of void items with the rest of them being, capable of that. And since certain items are from other mod packs, I'm gonna have to keep them until I guess, disable them? I guess I could do that, huh? Let me see. Oh, yes. Yes, I could. Wow. This is going to be... throughout these episodes, I'm going to be slowly adjusting my mod pack to the point where it would just be only the items that can be switched over into being,
I dreamt for so long. My flesh was dull gold, and my
ouch.
blood rotted. Corpse after corpse left in my wake as I awaited his return. I am Malenia, Blade of Miquella, and I have never known defeat.
Okay, well, I know who I'm going to play first, I guess. Malenia. And this time I won't use my go-to artifact. I'm going to go straight raw with this. Through and through. And yes, this is our previous run. And that previous run is now corrupt, so I'm not going to go to that run. Instead, we're gonna do this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. My controllers are being picked up. Uh-oh. Technical difficulties? Oh, there it is. I am such a professional YouTuber. Man, I'm such a professional YouTuber. I can't imagine anyone judging me for not, checking if I had my shit running or not. Oh, wow. So this is literally the day after the first day, and I'm feeling personally a lot better. I cleaned up my room and gotten some of my shit done in regards to life itself. I'm making progress, people, in regards to my own, outside world. During the time when I was cleaning my room, I was actually watching a video by Markiplier, which I'm sure that particular statement is nothing new for anyone to hear, but it was very interesting what they were talking about. They were talking about how, oh, that's not good, about how, the current state of YouTube and media as a whole has changed from it being, a case in where specific connection, depending on what, place you decide to focus on, offers. When it comes to a content creator and their viewers. With YouTube being the middle ground of subtle forms of communication and connection to Twitch being the most, and what is it? And I don't remember. And TikTok being the least. And hearing that was a funny, well, it's kind of funny, but also very true, because it it shows on what each platform kind of is used by the viewers, usually. People usually use YouTube for information. They used to use it for like a long-term entertainment, but as people get older, or as the particular audience that used to be all about that has gotten older, they've been having a lot less time. So TikTok, which obviously is more focused on that particular... Oh, interesting. That is all about that short, burst of content, only for you to move on to the next video for a short amount of time. It, satiates that. Another platform that used to do that was Vine, unironically. I probably should look into the history of what happened to Vine, because honestly, it bothers me that TikTok replaced it, because Vine is, at least from my knowledge, was of equal, had similar features and, not the same content creators, I'm pretty sure, but it did have a lot of similarities with the current version of Vine, from my knowledge, besides the introduction of corporate coming into it to get, but get their products into that to, get more popularity. As expected, they gotta make money somehow. Which is kind of the whole rule of thumb. You be a part of the trend to get your money somehow. Because if you don't, how are you gonna sleep comfortably the next day knowing that you're not, talked about enough? You're not getting enough to pay your workers. You're not getting enough to do that, this, then, the next. Ignoring, the expected responsibilities of a manager, let alone CEO, or really a CEO, and and advertiser, and advertising manager, and everything else. It all comes ahead to where, well, yes. It's just interesting that, those who talked about how everything became more algorithmic, and there's a chance rather than a surefire possibility that you can be put on the map, because those that has been in the spot for years most likely will never fully get that recognition in comparison to some others. Right? I know a kind of perfect example where Tier Grace, while someone who honestly kind of deserves this mixed reception of not always having, the highest view rate and everything else because of what niche he put himself into, is a very good, YouTuber, and has a very great personality in regards to everything. And is very fun. But I also feel like he dug a hole for himself by doing less content and focusing more on Twitch. But I guess in the same case, it's based off of if he enjoys it at the end of the day. That's just one example. There's possibly many, there's obviously many other scenarios where that could be said otherwise. But it also shows that just how it can work. If you're successful in one particular, game, game community, like before, with, what is it called? With that being for Tierra Grace being Binding of Isaac, and or I guess the roguelike community in general. Well, I say that, but then the person who usually is more predominantly known for being a part of the roguelike community is actually more like, what's his name? Like Olexo? Or at one point, Northern Lion, which obviously he branched out tremendously. And good on him, honestly, because I'm pretty sure that was an uphill battle for him, to a degree. Because he was known for being one of the few, first, big, roguelike YouTubers, to my knowledge. Before he branched out to becoming more general, which often happens to YouTubers that, start off doing one little niche thing sometimes and desiring to do more. Having a Markiplier, having a PewDiePie, having a PewDiePie, but he did it more out of a intellectual approach of going with what he knows works, because he knows the system probably the best out of everyone else. Next to obviously the rest of the higher functioning individuals in the quote-unquote top dog, and those that obviously depend on what works often while giving success, and that's obviously stated without a joke, because the whole algorithm statement isn't just for show. That is a truth, because that's how it works. If you mention, focus on that stat collection and try to improve it, there will be improvement. It's no different from if you decide to focus on your culinary skills. It's like, oh, I don't have much practice in, cooking. If you're into practicing that, then you should learn something from doing that. And same would apply if you were to look at an algorithm, figure out what works, what, gives you most views. Which, funny enough, I probably could have done that at the time when I had that spark of people that were into my channel for things like KJ Games, which I am not forgetting, by the way, KJ, if you have been watching my videos at all. I'm not forgetting that your games exist, obviously. It's just I have been going through some things in my personal life that I am now deciding to honestly be over. I'm over them. Not treating them as they're irrelevant by any means, but more in a case of they're not a big deal as I make them out to be. They're not worth me worrying over to a point where I'm just so sad and depressed and just getting myself depressed. And that's kind of what I had for a while. I had a very serious depressive fit, and even if I was climbing out of it, I would still slip back in that hole where it's just this case of constant external desire for gratification, satisfaction, and security, which created a vacuum of insecurity. Until you accept your own being, you will never be happy, and that's the case where that has been explained, and I suddenly realized that is true. A lot of what I used to do, I stopped doing. I stopped doing YouTube videos. I thought it was going to not matter. I stopped doing streams for a bit because I thought it was kind of just an irrelevant thing that no one that I don't really care about. But the thing is that I honestly enjoy doing these because this is not for everyone else. This is really just for me. I just enjoy doing documentation, short, wild bursts of just me doing this because this is kind of what I grew up around. I grew up around video recordings and, you know, watching YouTubers do that. I always wanted to do it myself, and this is me doing it. Of course, I'm 22 years old, it's not too late for me to be trying to do this when there's obviously better people at doing it. But it doesn't stop me from trying to still do it, obviously. And that's all I really caring about, is me trying to do it. Yeah, I guess I'll take it. I'm fine with that. I don't need my credit right now. I don't need it. It's just... I'm here because I want to. That is just the ultimate thing, right? And that's kind of how it is for, you know, Mark and Sean, or Sean being the other guy. Where they do it because they want to at this point, do the YouTube thing. Not because of any form of money case or any of that stuff. They do it because they want to. They do it because they're enjoying what they do. And you know what? I second that, because I didn't do what I did because I wanted, because I enjoyed doing it, because I wanted to. And it was purely for the gratification or certification of feeling like as if I had to keep someone else happy. To make sure that I'm not in this constant case of a hole, that I have this glass, you know, under me. And it's ridiculous. I put too much pressure on myself because the greatest judgment I have has always been on myself. If I fail, who is there to blame but my own individual? And while obviously showing accommodation, taking accountability for your own actions is good, it's unhealthy to, you know, be overbearing to your own person, because then you're forcefully restraining yourself from being or expressing any true, you know, any truth to your own, well, self, right? And that's something I learned from this, or from just doing videos, talking to people, my mom, and just kind of settling down on my own, that ultimately I shouldn't be trying to do things because other people want me to. I should be trying to do it because I wish to. And if I don't want to, then I should just prove that I don't, instead of accommodating for someone else's beliefs. And that's what I'm practicing. By, unironically, doing something that is kind of irrelevant in its own way, but a own testament of my own desires. Doing YouTube videos. Even if it's just me sitting here talking to y'all while playing Risk of Rain and just enjoying modded characters with a mod pack that I adjusted for not just the efficiency of my computer, but also the efficiency of the visual of the game itself. Eventually I will get to playing the highest difficulty with specific characters, because I know there's really characters that survive it. But first I need to figure out what characters I actually want to play. Also, I should probably start doing Eclipse difficulty. There's a lot of things I want to do. There's a specific series I wanted to do, which where I would do like reviews on characters, their abilities, their little synergies and stuff like that. Something I wanted to also do with paging and characters, characters with Soul Knight, weapons. A lot of things I wanted to do when I was younger, because I always had this level of feeling like as if I will never be able to, but now as someone not only has no excuse with the equipment that I have in regards to this laptop, but also my own time. As they say, it's better now than never, because if you do it never, then you're bound to fail to begin with if you don't attempt. And that's sort of thing, I never attempted something because I was already afraid of it far before I even came to, what is it? I became too afraid of something that was only by a possibility. I was afraid of possibility over reality, imagination over what is true. And it's funny because when I was cleaning my room yesterday, there was a page of literally just that very thing. That very thing that I was afraid of was on my paper. It was a quote of me saying, well, what you see as merely my fantasy is my reality, and it's a case in where I lived in my own form of perpetual fear. Every action and inaction was a state of fear, hesitance, and, well, a weak form of desiring to live. Doing just barely enough, but not trying to overstep my bounds to break any habits. And that's it's a depressing realization that I was that flawed of an individual. But it's also, but also it is breathtaking to experience because that shows that as a person who always believed me to be this really expressionless or emotionless individual, really lived in a case where I was afraid of everything, even my own possibility of failure, to a point where I feared myself in being a monster that, well, on the purpose I still see myself as a monster, but it's a case in where I should be aware that if I'm wanting to be that, I have to make the conscious steps to do it. If I know that I'm going to be a monster, I have to take the active steps to be a monster. I have to take the active steps to let myself do something inherently destructive. I have to let go. I have to admit defeat and disrupt my own internal beliefs and identity and change my moral compass. And that's really hard to do. As I've learned from, well, moving, being up, getting up, talking with myself of all people. And not in a way where it's negative, but in a way where I literally just smile. Even now I feel kind of happy because of the fact that, like, it's a genuinely positive feeling knowing that I am just being an idiot. And not in a, like, am actually mentally insufficient. An individual that is kind of incompetent, but someone that is just overreacting, over dramatizing things that over-dramatizing? Yeah, that sounds like a word that shouldn't exist. Overcomplicating things that should be as clear as just breathe, think, and let go. If at all possible. That's funny that I just didn't let me do that, at least back then, until now. With me now being capable of just speaking and letting my mind rest, giving it what it wanted. A moment to come to a realization that everything will be okay. This constant worry and weariness is ridiculous. If something does go wrong, accept it. Don't fear a possibility, just be known that it's going to happen. And knowing is not half the battle, but a case in where preparedness can form. If you are mentally and psychologically prepared for failure, prepared for death, prepared for the end of something, then you can truly be capable of enjoying the moments and where things are good. And that's what matters most. It's not about the over-dramatization or the worry and concern of these things happening, more about if you're capable of living with the fact that they are going to happen and you're going to be the one prepared to give a better experience during that, rather than being amongst the rest, drowning in suffering. Are you strong enough to be able to smile and still give a good time to people? Or are you going to be the one to be with them, bitter, upset, angry? That is a question that you must consider. That is a question you must always think about. Because it's not for you. It's not just about you in a world like this. It's about others, those you care about, those you love. Do you love them because you do? Or do you love them because they are who you do? Yeah, okay, firstly, saying that wrong. Yeah, I am saying that wrong. I should be saying, do you love those people because they are around you, or do you love them because of a specific reason? Why do you love them shouldn't obviously determine how you treat them, but it should be at least determined as to how you treat yourself. And later on, if you want them still in your life, by extension. Because if you don't love somebody, or at least care about them, why are they around? At least in regards to, you know, being in your inner circle and talking to them and being a part of your daily life. Those are very important things that you should always consider. If you love them, then obviously you already know the answer, but if you don't, you should probably think about it. At least for a little bit. Don't make it your entire day though, because then you're kind of wasting time. You probably still have an interview to go to, or someone's waiting for you to join a game or something. Like, just don't make it your entire day where you're questioning your entire social group, because if you're doing that, then oh god, we're gonna have issues in his own way. Yeah, no one and their mother needs that to be happening. Wait. What is this? Oh, that took the apple. Okay, I should probably leave, huh? What's right here? There it is. Yeah. Okay. She's incredibly strong. Some could even say overtuned, but she's enjoyable, so I definitely know that she's gonna be useful for Inferno. So I want to keep that, or Eclipse. So I want to keep that with her. Oh, shit. See how she never lost? She literally has built-in sustain. But I also have a really good set of items, so I guess I should have been playing with it. Like, this is a very good set of items. So, yeah, today's the 28th. It's only 1 o'clock right now. And I technically haven't accomplished much beyond making the mod pack and starting this video. So my day is, well, pretty late because I woke up really early in the morning and I mostly just talked to my mom, which isn't bad in its own right. I played some mobile, which I am still playing, of course, because that is a game that I kind of do take with more of a grain of salt than I did back then. I don't take it as seriously as I did, only because the people in which that was associated with playing has kind of veered off to do their own thing, and I'm not really worried about trying to make any kind of impact in that community anyway. Personally, if there's any community I want to make an impact in, it's really the community that I always cared about the most, and that is always the Race community. So if I'm going to be personally honest, it's no big deal that I'm not going to, take any further steps into anything serious in regard to that community. Now, there is another community I do want to also pay attention to, though, and that is Rivals. Because Rivals is a competitive game I really care about. Although I'm not that deep in the community, however, I also don't know how to get into that community full time. I'm a, average player for the most part. Average if you call 4 years average, I guess, of playing the game. Who also tried to get into competitive and kind of didn't really succeed too well, but, but just a good example of, trying to I started playing Rivals on Xbox. So my introduction into the game wasn't the most open or broad to begin with. Although, if I could get into a place where I could start meeting people with that community, I would be very great. I know there's people that are, that are connected to it. My personal desire is to technically get into competitive. I just need, not a push, but some pointers, I guess you could say. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Just a place knowing that I can, without any worry about looking like an idiot, I guess. Which is easier said than done, knowing my character. But I'm calling myself an idiot because I have a bad habit still, which I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on stop being so down on myself, not so kind of stupid. I do have actual competent traits. It's just I'm always more down on myself because I'm kind of used to just feeling like as if I've made infinite mistakes and unrecoverable soul when people still care. So clearly it's not them, it's me. I'm doing this to myself because of my own failures, or really my own failure I've experienced from when I was a child, and feel like as if I still need to repent for those mistakes. Even though it's a mistake. You were a kid. I never took that as stats. I took it as a case where I was meant to be this perfected individual. Although the reason why I think that really affected me as much as it did is because, okay, that's an Ancient Wisp attack. Where is the Ancient Wisp? I hear it. I don't see it. Probably up top somewhere. Ooh, oh right, I should probably mention that yes, I do have a mod that increased the chance of aspects dropping. Not by much, but apparently enough to always at least get one per round. At relative decent timing. And I really do enjoy this mod purely because of the fact that I can always, you know, produce a different run with very unique, you know, stakes to it. Not stakes, but situations and combinations of items and stuff like that. Or even do elemental themed runs, which is kind of my favorite thing to do. I'm complete manic for elements. I don't know why, but I love having elemental themes. I just love synergy. Like, it is engraved in my character to enjoy synergy. Or enjoy the unironic case of, while a character has this showing of black and white, but their identity is completely gray. Or a different case where they seem to have this one ability that seems to be of a benevolent form, but is actually benevolent, and vice versa can be stated about their opponent, where they have, you know, the ability to manipulate fire, but they're actually a good guy. And so this interpretation of who's good and evil is shown through the idea of what is considered good and what is considered evil. Through the manipulation of what is what. It's no different from the idea of people misunderstanding the use of Earth, and those who use Earth are usually very hard people, but then there would be obviously a big softy, which, unironically, a very good example of a character like that is what I think her name is Lana or Lani from Gwyn Saga, and she is my favorite character purely because she is, well, but like a red word, she is just good because she's very caring. A very caring and kind girl who has a really awesome manipulation from her perspective. Even though I love water, and even though I have an affinity for water and ice, I still enjoy characters who have earth manipulation. And I don't know why. And it's not because of Toss, because I honestly didn't care about Toss in Avatar as much as I cared about Zuko. Someone who had conflicting identities through purely his own genetics, but also the way he was treated. Oh my god, I'm making so many spoilers about a show that's so old, but it's just that case thing where I don't know why, but I like characters that struggle with their own inner selves, their own identities, I guess I could say, or an aspect about themselves, where Lonnie having her element of rock, and her disbelief in her having the strength to overcome adversity, not adversity, but overcome her own weakness, or belief that her own self-worth in combat is, well, not strong in comparison to, you know, the other cats that are kind of like that, where they are completely capable of doing those things. Thank God I am not in Inferno. That would have killed me for sure. I don't know what I was thinking going there. Like, that was right where it was going to impact, and I could have definitely saw that coming if I paid even an inch more attention, but I was stupid enough to be like, oh look, the impact zone, let me go right in! Like I'm some idiot, which I kinda am sometimes. Yeah, I make mistakes, Lord, work on this is funny. It is a progression. It takes time. Okay, where is the equipment barrel? Is it up here? Yes. Give me something good. Well, it's not bad. A little underwhelming, but nothing I can scoff at. 100% chance to crit for a short amount of time is still a double times your damage, no matter what you say. I hear a lot of golems spawning. Well, that would usually cause them to spawn, yeah. Die? Dead? Death? Dead? You know, I will do one run per episode. I think that's the safest thing to do. And I won't do loops unless, you know, obviously it's a task, right? Or, you know, if that is a desired outcome. And maybe I'll only do loops if I stream again. I don't know when I'm going to start streaming again. I haven't really set up an ideal schedule to do that yet. But I will do it, and I will probably make it at least a 3-hour minimum stream. Hour 45, with the 45 being the beginning portion where I'm just making sure everything works and set up, and, you know, people are coming in so they can be recorded for 3 hours, and that's generally it. For the rest of the time period will literally just be obviously playing the game, talking, answering questions if there is any. Just general stuff. Why do you keep asking me to join? Okay, fine. I did commencement last time. I'll actually be able to avoid this time. Fine. This is fine. I'll be able to avoid this time. Oh. This is different. Oh. This is a mod, right? I didn't know. How do I deal with this? The towers protect the tower could have served, like, okay. I need to pick up the towers, got it. Oh boy. Oh. That's not good. Can these take out... Oh, they cannot. That down? Okay, cool. Whoa. Nice. Okay, that's down. Oh boy. Please. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. That should have been enough distance. Okay, yeah, it was. Oh boy. Please, please. Oh, why? Right, I forgot if you don't hit anything, it holds. God, it's finished. Oh boy. Move. No, 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 no. Oh. Can I focus it now? No, I cannot. What do I do now? I killed all the towers, didn't I? I guess not. Yeah, I can't tell. This is interesting. What do I do now? Oh dear God. This is a very interesting experience. I didn't think I was gonna be doing this today. It's this is a boss fight, or it's supposed to be, and I don't know how to think of it, or know what to think of it. I mean, it's a fight, I guess, right? I have a feeling if I was doing this on actual, if I was doing it on Inferno, I would be in living hell. This would be absolute nightmare. We would also be doing a whole lot more damage, the enemies would be a whole lot more fierce and aggressive, and I would just be in a whole lot of unfortunate circumstances. Wait, what? I love this game, and I love this modded community. But fuck that. That is unfortunate. That is deeply unfortunate.
I
That
dreamt
was
for so long. My flesh was dull gold, and my blood rotted. Corpse after corpse.
I tried so hard there. Tried so hard and got so far. In the end, it doesn't even matter. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Oh well. That was fun though. That was actually enjoyable. I hope you all enjoyed that too, even if it was a little lackluster in difficulty. It was at least enjoyable to play that character. Alright. I will see you on the next episode. I am going to go and start my day on something else. I'll start my day. More continue it, right? This is part of my task. Alright. Talk to you next time. Wait, why am I trying to do that? That's not how that works.